Yesterday, we talked about how to solve an equations involving exponential and logarithmic function. We say that to solve them, we need to write its inverse. If it is logarithm, write the inverse of the logarithm, which is the exponential function. If it is natural, write its natural logarithm function, which is ln. Now, let's solve these questions here. If we have C, like I remember that we stopped at C. So 2 logarithm of x minus logarithm of x plus 1 equals logarithm 4 minus logarithm 3. The first step here, look at the first one. We have its one which is expanded, and I want to write it as a single logarithm. Why? To solve it every time. If you want to solve the logarithm, write it as a single logarithm. Here it's expanded. So the first step before solving it, you have to write it as a single. Now, since we have here a minus between the two logarithms, so I will write logarithm, and this minus, it's mean divide. Now, 2 logarithm of x, which is
X
the
to the power 2
exponents. So it's x squared. And x over, oh, sorry, minus logarithm of x plus 1. Now, this x plus 1, I will write it here, equals logarithm of 4 minus logarithm of 3. So I will write logarithm here. And since we have
3.
minus sign, it is 4 over 3. So here now, this is what we do. Do you have any question?
No, teacher.
Okay. Then, as you see here, we have logarithm on the right and we have logarithm on the left. They cancel each other. So we have x squared over x plus 1 equals 4 over 3. Then the second or the next step will be make cross product. I want to solve them. X squared times 3, it will be 3x squared. And here we have 4 equals 4 times x plus 1. Then 3x squared equals 4x plus 4. Then 3x squared minus 4x minus 4 will be 0. This is a quadratic equation. I need to solve it. Now let's remember here how we will solve the quadratic equation. Now before I solve it, I will solve the quadratic. Do you have any question?
No, teacher.
Okay. So this is now 3x squared minus 4x minus 4. Now, what we have to do here, I will remind you now how to solve or how we factorize it. Here we have negative 4. So I want you now to write the factors of negative 4. That's, no, wait, sorry. Here we have, now this is type of equations. We call them ax squared plus bx plus c. So to solve it first, or to write the factorize, you have to multiply negative 4 with a 3, which is negative 12. Now this negative 12, or we called it AC, I want you now to write the factors of negative 12. That's when you want to add them, okay, it gives you negative 4. and you want to multiply them, it gives you negative 12. What are these two factors? It will be negative 6 and 2.
And 2.
Because negative 6 times 2 is negative 12, and negative 6 plus 2 is negative 4. Now, what we have to do? The second step now, you have to expand the function, like 3x squared minus. Now, instead of writing 4x, I want you to write negative 6x plus 2x. يعني negative 4, it's negative 6 plus 2. So rewrite it here as negative 6 plus 2. Negative 6x plus 2x minus 4 equals 0. The second step, take, divide them first like this into two brackets. Then take the first common of the first bracket here, which is 3x. Sorry, we have 3x. So if we have here 3x squared, I'll remind you now. This is we talked it in grade 8. I'll remind you now. Here we have 3x squared and 6x. These two factors here. Now factorize them. We have 3 times x, and up we have 3 times x times 2. 3x is the common factor. We put it outside. Now, since we take 3x, what did we have in the first column here? What is left?
Minus 2.
We have x. And here we have 2.
2.
So the second one, look at the second factor. We have 2 as a common factor. So then x minus 2. Then take x minus 2 as a common factor. Then we have 3x plus 2. So here we have two solutions. X, it could be 2, and x, it could be negative 2 over 3. Now, we have two solutions, but one of them, or maybe one of them is a solution, or maybe two of them. So what we have to do, we have to check which one is a solve, will be the solve of the logarithm. 2, now let's try it as the first one here. 2 logarithm 2 minus logarithm x plus 1. It will be logarithm 4 minus logarithm 3. Or when you said before that it was x squared over x plus 1, which is 4 over 3. Now, which one here will be the solution? Check if it is 2 or 2 negative 2 over 3. And tell me why.
2, teacher.
Why 2?
Because 2 squared equal 4 and 2 plus 1 equals 3.
Thank you. Because 2 squared is 4 and 2 plus 1 is 3. So the solution here is x equal to. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
teacher
Yes.
الكوادراتيك equation راح تكون موجودة كتير.
No. Yes, you can solve it by calculator, but just here I want to remind you how to solve it.
Okay.
No. Solve for x without using a calculating rate. Let's now number 10, 16, easy. Number 17, it's number 18, it's easy. Let's solve number 19. In number 19 here, we have ln of 1 over x is -2. So here we have an e which is hidden. So e to the power -2 is 1 over x. So, or we can say that, e to the power -2, I can rewrite it as e squared. 1 over e squared is 1 over x. So what is the value of x will be? It will be e squared. This is the value of x. Is it clear?
Yes, miss.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Let's solve now number 21. Logarithm to the base 5 of 5 to the power 2x is 8. Here, that's mean 5 to the power
8
is 5
equal 5 to the power 2x.
So then 8 here is equal to 2x. So 8 is, since we have the same base, so 8 is 2x. So x equals 4.
4.
Now let's solve number 22. ln of 4x minus 3 ln of x squared equals ln 2. So here we have ln. Since we have a minus sign, so it is 4x divided by 3 outside x squared, so it's x squared to the power 3.
3.
So here we have 4x over x squared cubic equals ln 2. Then ln cancel ln, so 4x over, here we have two exponents raised to exponents, so it will be x to the power 6 is equal to. Then by cross product, 2x to the power 6 equals 4x, or 2x to the power 6 minus 4x equals 0. Take 2x as a common factor, so we have x to the power 5 minus, plus 2 equals 0. Then 2x, it could be 0. So and here, as we know before, if you have a times b equals 0, so a, it could be 0, or b, it could be 0. So 2x equals 0, or x to the power 5 plus 2 equals 0. 2x equals 0, so x will be 0. And x to the power 5 equals -2. So x, it will be the 5th root of -2. Let's find it here first. Which is, x will be -1.1. Yes?
Can you repeat this point, the 2x to the power 5 plus 2 after this?
Here?
What's the mark? Yes.
Oh, so I make something wrong, come on. No. Now take 2x as a common factor. When you take it, we have x to the power 5 minus 2, not plus 2. So here you take 2x as a common factor. So I will repeat it here in another way. Hello, what's the meaning of taking 2 as a common factor? Here we have 2x to the power 6 and we have 4x. Write the factors of them. We have 2 times 6 x's. And down we have 2 times 2 times 1x. Then what is the common here? We have 2 and x. 2 and x here is the common. When I take 2x, let's see now, what did we have and left here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have x to the power 5. Now minus. When we take 2x outside, what did we have? We have 2 left. So when you take it as a common factor, we have 2x times x to the power 5 minus 2. That's what I did here. Then all of us know that if you have 4 times 0 is 0. And if you have the 0 times the 3 is 0. So if you multiply two numbers with each other and the answer is 0, that means one of them is 0, as you see here. 4 times 0 or 0 times 3. So the first number or the second number will be 0. So here the same. We have 2x times x to the power 5 minus 2 equals 0. So one of them must be 0. It could be 2x and it could be x to the power 5 minus 2. If 2x is 0, so x will be 0. And x to the power 5 minus 2, here we have x to the power 5 is 2. So x, it will be the fifth root of 2. Let's find it here by the calculator, which is 1.14. So here we have two values for x. X is 1.14 and x is 0. So I take 1.14, I think it will be the correct one because ln 4 times 1.14, which is 1.53 ln of 1.14 squared is 0.78. So 1.5 minus 0.78, which is 0.72. Does it equal ln 2? Yes. So the answer here is x equal 1.14. This is the correct answer. So, and how did I know? I check this number first. In 22, I will say 22 ln 4 times 1.14 minus 3 times ln 1.14 squared. Is it equal ln 2? Did you know how to, how to check the equation? Yes, grade 11. Did you know how?
Yes, teacher. طب teacher على الكالكوليتر هتطلع اللن N2.
في beside اللوغاريتم في بوتون عليها لن.
Okay.
Okay, ln 2. Now, number 23. We have ln of 1 over x plus ln of 2x cubic is ln 3. Here now, we have plus, so they are multiplied. So ln of 1 over x times 2x cubic, which is ln of 3. Then x cancel x, so we have ln of 2x squared equal ln of 3. Then ln cancel ln, so 2x squared equals 3. So let's continue here. 2x squared equals 3 over 2 over 2. So x squared is 3 over 2. under the square root. So x will be positive, negative, or sorry, or square root of 3/2. Do you have any question?
No, teacher.
No, teacher.
Now, here, sometimes in your calculator, you can find it, but some calculators, you don't know, you can find, if you write logarithm of 7 as an example, by default, they write it as logarithm to the base 10 of 7. But if you want to find logarithm 5 of 7, sometimes in your calculator, you will find this one. You have to write 5 down and 7 up. And sometimes you have to find it using this formula, ln of 7 over ln of 5. So if your calculator didn't have this button, you will have to use this one here, ln of 7 over ln of 5. Okay? So if your calculator didn't have this button here, go and use ln of 7 over ln of 5. Now, do you have any question?
No, teacher.
No. Now, let's see these type of questions here. E to the power x minus 2x e to the power x equals 0. Here now, so here now, we have e to the power x minus 2x e to the power x equals 0. Who can give me the first step?
They are divided.
No.
Take e to the power x as a common factor.
Let's take e to the power x as a common factor. Now, in the first one here, if we take e to the power x as a common factor, we have 1. And in the second one, we have 2x. So when we take e to the power x as a common factor, we have e to the power x times 1 minus 2x, which is 0. Then, as we said before, when they are multiplied and the answer is 0, so one of them must be 0. So e of x is 0, or 1 minus 2x is 0. E of x is 0. So how can I solve it? How can I know what is the power? That's if I raised to x, I get 0. Well, how did you know? You have to raise ln to both sides here. So ln of e to the power x will be ln of 0. So that's mean ln cancel e. So we have x only equals ln 0. Now, in calculator, find ln of 0, which is undefined. So here you will say that x cannot be ln of 0, so there's no, أو يعني it cannot be. Now let's go to the second one here. Here we have 1 minus 2x equals 0. So 1 equals 2x, so x will be half. So here the solution is when x equals half. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
We should check.
Sorry?
We should check, or it's not necessary.
No, خلاص, we have one solution. And if you want to check, yeah, it's already, if you try to check it here, look, e to the power half minus 2 times half times e to the power half. Is it equal 0? E to the power half minus e to the power half is 0. So yes, this is the solution.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's solve number 29. Here we have x to the power, x e to the power negative x plus 2 to the power e to the power negative x equals 0. The same steps here. Take x, e to the power negative x as a common factor. When we take it, we have x plus 2. So we have two solutions. E to the power negative x could be 0, and x plus 2, it could be 0. Now e to the power negative x is 0, as I told you, raised ln to the both sides. So ln of e to the power negative x is ln of 0. So ln cancel e. So negative x will be ln 0. This is cannot be. Because if you try it in calculator, it give you error. Now x plus 2 is 0. So x is negative 2. Let's try it here now. Negative 2 e to the power negative 2 plus 2 e to the power negative 2. Is it equal 0?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So I will say that when x is negative 2, this will be our solution. Now, do you have any question?
No, teacher.
No, teacher.
Now, look at this type of questions here. In this one here, we have e to the power x minus e to the power negative x over 2 equals 1. Solve x, find x. As you see here, there is nothing that can be taken as a common factor. So the first step, here we have e to the power x minus e to the power negative x over 2 is 1. The first step here, cross product. So e to the power x minus e to the power negative x is 2. Then the second step, I want now to try to make something or try to solve it. So here we have e to the power negative x. So I can write it as 1 over e to the power x. And first here we have e to the power x. These are equal to 2. Then after that, here we have e to the power x over 1 minus 1 over e to the power x. So I want now to make them have the same denominator by cross product. So what do we have to do? Or before that, let's make it like here we have 1, so multiply it by e to the power of x, e to the power of x. So let's now come here. E to the power x times e to the power x. We have e. You have to add the exponents. So it will be e to the power 2x.
X squared.
No, please, Hannah. When I'm explaining this, listen to me, please. So here we have e to the power 2x minus 1 over e to the power x. Because all of us know that when you want to add the two fractions have the different denominator, you have to make them have the same denominator. So since I make or multiply up and down by the same denominator, so we have e to the power 2x minus 1 over here, but here you have to take one of them, which is e to the power x. So e to the power 2x minus 1 over e to the power x equals 2. Then cross the product. So e to the power 2x minus 1 is equal to 2 e to the power x. Then e to the power 2x minus 2e to the power x minus 1 equals 0. I remove this 2 to the power, or 2e to the power x to the second side. And for this type of questions, you must assume that e to the power x is u to solve it. Because how can you solve it here? So this is here, you have to assume, if you write it like this, remember that you can assume e to the power x as u. When you assume it, so if e to the power x is u, so e to the power 2x, it will be u squared. Because it's already e to the power x squared. I mean, it's u squared. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Then e to the power 2x, I write it as u squared minus 2. And instead of writing e to the power x, I write it as u minus 1 equals 0. Then, so here we have u squared minus 2u minus 1 equals 0. It is a quadratic equation. I need now to factorize it. Minus 1, minus 1. Minus 1 plus 1. This is not cannot give me negative 2. So let's going now to use it by, or to find it by the quadratic formula. Did you remember the quadratic formula?
Yes.
That has a
Yes.
square root.
Yes. So here we have u squared minus 2u minus 1 equals 0. So the quadratic formula, it's helped me to find it now. So, which is x is negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Where is b? b is negative 2. So negative of negative 2 plus or minus negative 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 1 over 2 times 1. Then positive 2 plus or minus negative 2 squared is 4. 4 times negative 4, negative 1 is negative 4 plus, so it will be plus 4 over 2. So we have the solutions as 2 plus square root of 8, which is 2 square root of 8, which is 4 times 2, yani 2 to the 2 square root of 2 over 2. Take 2 as a common factor, so we have to say that we have 1 plus square root of 2 over 2. Here we have positive and negative. Then So we have 1 plus square root of 2 and 1 minus square root of 2. This is what the values of x. Now, this is the values of x. Now let's come back to our assumption. We said e to the power x is u. So this is, this is u. So this u is e to the power x. E to the power x. Here, when I solve this one using the quadratic formula, I said u is 1 plus or minus square root of 2. So this u, my assumption says e to the power x is u. So 1 plus square root of 2 is e to the power x, and 1 minus square root of 2 is e to the power x. Then how can we cancel e? By ln. So ln. So the first one here, we have ln of 1 plus square root of 2 is x, or ln of 1 minus square root of 2 is x. So the two values here for x, I don't have the time to check them, but the values here, x, it could be ln of 1 plus square root of 2 or ln of 1 minus square root of 2. Is it clear?
Teacher, can they both be correct?
Yeah.
Did you hear me?
What did you say?
Can they both be correct?
Let's see. I think this one, the first one is the correct one, because square root of 2, which is 1.4. There's no ln for minus. And there's no ln for the negative numbers.
Okay.
Okay. So it's like there's square root. If there's no square root for the negative numbers, the same as then. So here, will be the solution. ln of 1 plus